all, Stacy the Black Feather Intuitive, and welcome to Divinely Decked Tarot and Oracle Reviews done Stacy style. And today we are going to be doing another blind deck date segment. Super excited to be doing this. This is where we connect with different deck combos and throw them together and see if there's any chemistry and see what's coming up. So without further ado, let's get to it and check out our daters today. And so what we've got going on today is the Delusion Tarot from Lunart Design and The Secret Language of Darkness by Denise Jarvie. And I just kind of very randomly chose both of these off the shelf. There really wasn't a whole lot of thought. I decided, you know what, I don't really feel like I need to overcomplicate this. And in fact, you know, if it's a good pairing, awesome. And if it's not a good pairing, awesome. It doesn't matter. That's part of this whole, you know, blind deck dating anyway. So let's just get a sense of, you know, the physical chemistry of each of these decks and see what we got going on. So on first blush, those first impressions, definitely feeling some similarity with the card backs. There's some similarity in the colors. They're not the exact color scheme, but they've got a lot of commonality in them. So lots of circles, lots of spheres, spherical energy. This has a really cool DNA strand running through it. We've got some of the pyramidal energy, some sigils in the background, very galactic. This is galactic as well, but it's, I want to say, maybe a little softer, a little more, I want to say like Victorian almost in nature, a little more gentle detailing or divine feminine detailing in nature. So that's kind of cool. Now let's just sort of see what we get from in terms of an imagery for each of these decks and see how they combine with one another. Ooh. Okay, so here we have the sun and the surrender card. Oh, and interesting, this is very similar to the card back energy. Let me just see if I can get these straightened around so that we don't have everything lopsided. Hopefully that looks a little bit better visually. Okay, so definitely very similar. Here we've got the pyramid, so they're just in different spots on the card. We definitely have the circular energy coming through, the DNA strand popping up. Here we have a little bit of the circular energy with the sun, and the sun is expanding out, or this sun design, the symbol of the sun. We've got the sun in the background here. The light and the light piercing through also seems to be the very mid section of the card, which I think is interesting. This is a very large oracle deck. In terms of size, this is a smaller tarot, even smaller than a traditional tarot. So I think that's kind of interesting too. We have different sized decks. Both are bordered. This is bordered with a little bit of the gold color in it, and this is bordered in a cream energy. So just kind of looking at this, there's really good synergy so far. The sun and surrender, let your soul wisdom lead the way. Let's take another look and see how we're doing. Here we have the Tower card and the wounded adult. How interesting. So yeah, a tower is like a sudden shock. It can absolutely cause wounding. And here we have the wounded adult. So on first glance, I feel like visually they, even though the color is slightly different, I feel that it's visually appealing. It visually works. Yes, you've got a lot of the red here, and there's no red in this depiction, but we have a lot of the greens and the blues that are shared in the background. So right off the hop here, I'm feeling like these two decks actually have quite a bit in common energetically, even though the color scheme is a little bit different. And I like that the Tower and the Wounded Heart showed up as well. So they're in sync in terms of their energetic offerings to one another. Knight of Wands and projection. The world as your emotional canvas. Loving this. So Knight of Wands actually can very much be a projector of its energy, that the energy of that card and of that archetype. So I think that's really kind of clever, the way that's working out. Here we have a lot of the yellow, leaning up and out. Here we have yellow as the central feature of the card. Yes, there's red, but you're really drawn to the light. You're drawn to the yellow. And so I feel like these two look really good together. Let's see what we got here. 10 of Cups and Dark Night of the Soul. Ego patterns soften and soul wisdom emerges. So what I'm noticing here is the 10 of Cups has a flow upwards. And in this image, the person is, their arms are up, they are meditating, and the focus is to draw your attention to the star. So I feel that both of them have an upward trajectory, even though the colors do not blend and match. Let's do a couple more here just to kind of get a feel for how these two like each other. Here we have the star and the shadow name. Unlock the mystery of your shadow. Well, I mean, just looking at this, it's really cool because the focus here is the star. The focus here is the heart. And the heart is beaming out all of its light, creating a big star-like energy. So that feels really synergistic. I'm absolutely loving that. Also, the shadow name, the shadow energy, we're seeing that this figure is coming out of the shadow and walking into the light. Ooh, I'm liking this pairing so far. I think this blind date is going well. Here we have the world and self-awareness. Now we've got the spherical energy. So we've got the world up here, and we've got this big spherical energy here. This makes me think of a batleth. For all of my Star Trek fellow Star Trek fans, it's a batleth, Worf and the Klingons. Interesting that it's self-awareness and the world. Observe from a balanced perspective. The world is coming full circle. The world is the end of the fool's journey and getting ready to, start the beginning of something else. And the fool's journey happens because of self-awareness. So I'm definitely feeling a lot of synergy with these two cards. We'll do one more here. We've got 2 of Wands and Guilt. A past stronghold is no longer true for you. So looking at the colors of things, even though the colors are a little bit off, in this depiction, we have a lot of different colors, and there is sort of a swirling, rounded, sort of filigree, paisley kind of energy. And I feel that ties in really well with the wispiness of the smoke, the colored smoke that is coming out of this 2 of Wands. So there really is a beautiful harmony that is happening here. While there is no sort of burst of light energy or burst of a focal point with this card, there is here with this. And I feel like when I'm looking at this card could definitely support the message of the 2 of Wands in a reading. It's basically saying, okay, a past stronghold is no longer true for you. So 2 of Wands, choosing a path, a new direction, stepping into something that is a little bit unknown, making a choice. It's saying, make it without guilt. Leave the past behind and maybe choose the new. Choose something that is new. Oh, okay. So loving this already. Now, let's shuffle these bad boys up and see how they interact with one another. So the spark. What unique chemistry emerges when these two voices, these two card decks blend? So here we have the golden shadow, discover deep dreams and desires. And the hanged man, interesting. So makes a lot of sense. The hanged man or the hanged one is that pregnant pause. It's the limbo. It is the feeling stuck. It is surrender, knowing surrender, the letting go. The not knowing what the next step or the next path is. I also call it the phoenix growing. It's the womb. And it makes a lot of sense. Discover deep dreams and desires while you are in hanged man mode. Sometimes we can't discover when we're always in go mode. So looking at this, I really like this energy. I feel like this deck is really going to bring about the phase, the true essence of where you're at. And this deck says to you, here's the action step to take. So I feel like just on first glance here with the spark, the unique chemistry that emerges, I feel that there is a supportive, if this, then that. very much like a yin and a yang energy to it. On looking at this, also just really noticing the roses and the red flower bunches, and here we have so much red being shown in the center of the picture, right? Red heart, red energy around it. It says truth. The hanged one helps you to really connect to the truth because it forces you to just to stay put, to get still, to get quiet, there's no action step to take at this point. You can if you want, but you'll just like, bash your head into the wall 50 million times. This is one of those things that says, okay, I'm in a waiting pattern. I'm in a holding pattern, and I have to wait until the universe brings me the next step. That's just the way it is. So in the meantime, how do I want to utilize my energy? Now I can choose to discover. Let me discover these deep dreams and desires while I'm sitting in silence, because now I can hear myself. So definitely liking that energy there. Let's see the clash. Where might these card deck personalities challenge each other or cause tension? This is going to be a good one. Let me just move these over. All right, we'll put those together. Where might their personalities challenge each other or cause tension? Interesting. Two of Swords and reimagine. Define who you are, create who you want to be. So I really feel strongly when we're looking at this, that this card is always going to pose a question. It's always going to suggest but what about this? Have you thought about this? This is the card deck, I want to say, that is the overthinker. And this card deck says, well, let me give you something else to think about. Instead of the what if from the anxiety perspective, let's talk about the what if from the curious perspective, from the expansive perspective. Two of Swords says, oh my God, I've got to make a choice, the choice between shit sandwich A and shit sandwich B. And this card says, okay, well, you get to define who you are. Take advantage of this opportunity to say, who do I want to become right now? And that's how I'm going to base my choice. I'm going to base my choice on this helping me to get to the next level that I really need to or want to be in. So this deck, once again, it's going to give action steps. It's going to support. But this card deck might not like that so much. This card deck might say, shut the hell up, let me wallow. And so maybe there's a clash in there where there can be tension, where this one says, but no, I don't need you to fix or solve my problems for me. I just need you to listen because I'm feeling sorry for myself, and that's where I need to be right now. And this card deck is going to say, sorry, can't do that. Not in my nature. I'm always going to give you the answer. I'm always going to just be really cut and dry. I'm going to be supportive of you in that, but I'm not going to let you wallow. So that's really interesting. I like that. I really like that. Oh, this is so cool. All right. Hidden layers. What unexpected truth does one card deck bring out in the other? This is really cool. Ooh, Queen of Cups. Okay. Let's see what that's going to do for us. Ooh, okay. How interesting. So we've got the water and the fire right off the bat, the hidden layers energy. So there's a lot of flow to this. There's the Venus and Mars here. So Queen of Cups and intimacy shadow, beyond fear to connection. Absolutely gorgeous messaging. And I feel like the hidden layers, this again is bringing the truth of what this becomes. Yes, this card deck, I want to say, knows what it wants, knows what its ultimate feeling is, knows the feeling or the environment that it creates in the messaging that it delivers. And this card deck, I feel, is going to enhance that. Beyond fear to connection. Queen of Cups, sometimes when it's out of balance, it can be very fearful. It can be cold and calculating. It can be cruel at times. The intimacy shadow says, let's get real with one another. I can bring the balance. I have both the divine masculine and the divine feminine within me. And this is how we can come together. This is how we can feel into one another. You bring the water, I bring the fire. Together we bring the balance. And you can be you, and I can still be me. But in between, we create the love. We create the truth. And we shine a light on what really is at the heart of things, what really matters. And there's a beautiful intimacy that can grow between these two decks. OMG, loving that. Wow. Okay, and this is future date potential. If these two card decks kept working together, what kind of guidance would they co-create? Wow, we're getting a lot of royalty energy here. So King of Swords. Ooh, and in the sway of influence, create with your authentic self. So at the end of the day, I feel like this card deck is always going to give you the full scope of it, the breadth and scope. It's not necessarily going to be super clear and detailed. It's going to give you, I want to say, the broader overlay of the situation. It's going to allow you to interpret the message and to decide how you want to make it work for you or not. And this is going to say, and I'm going to always encourage you to be that authenticity, to bring your authentic self. I'm never going to tell you to not be who you are. I'm simply going to support where you're at with that. Create with your authentic self in the sway of influence. Oh my goodness. Wow. So just overall, looking at these cards, I am definitely feeling strongly that this blind deck date has been hugely successful. There are going to be multiple other dates on the horizon here. And I know me personally, I'm really looking forward to putting something together here, doing a little bit of deeper work with this. Okay, so that is our blind deck date for the Delusion Tarot and the Secret Language of Darkness. Wow, that was just so fun. Please feel free to let me know how you thought about this. Comments go such a long way to establishing a rapport and connection and support between us. And I would love to be able to have that rapport with you guys. So let me know what you thought of this, and any other maybe deck combos that you'd like me to explore. I would love to hear from you guys. As always, sending you so much love, so much support. Until we see you on the flip side, transform well. That's our show for today. I hope you enjoyed it. It was great to connect with you guys. Please like, subscribe, and comment for more content like this. And feel free to follow me on Blue Sky for even more content every single day. Can't wait to see you guys next week for another installment of Black Feather Couture, Divining the VIP Life.